when we see video control stuff. Again, if that comes up on a replay and we know through, so they're messaging us, like you need to be on that, like, and just bring it. Like maybe Luge, we can talk a little more, but I might.
There was definitely some contact here.
He's into the big final, one step closer to the world title.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome along to Erzincan, Turkey. Welcome to the World Downhill Skateboarding Championships. It's the opening round, and it's the fourth time in a row we have been in this beautiful part of the world. We are excited. We cannot wait to bring you all the live action from the open stand-up round of 32 all the way through to the finals later on today. And whilst we are just waiting for the first round to get underway, let's take a little look at this beautiful part of the world.
No, it's live. There's running post.
Well, it truly is a stunning part of the world here. So much to see and do, summer or winter. And it's summer we're interested in right now. Well, earlier on today, we had a wonderful opening ceremony, and that opening ceremony taking place just about an hour or so ago. All the dignitaries here, all the riders getting together. Let's take a little look at the opening ceremony for round number 1 of the World Downhill Skateboarding Championship.
Well, let's have a round of applause again, please, for the Deputy Governor.
Ben teşekkür ederim.
My name's Ian Finley. Alongside me in the commentary position is Mr. Adam Westfall. Adam, earlier on today, we got Q2 and Q3 done, and we're about to get underway with the open skateboard round of 32. How are you getting on today, Adam?
Well, I got to tell you, I'm fantastic, and what a qualifying result it was. I mean, Nick Brahms in P1, phenomenal play by him. You love to see it. You know, rookie here in Turkey, and to show up first year and rock up and put down a P1 is just nice work from Nick Brahms. This race is going to be crazy. It's going to be absolutely electric. The heats are looking stacked. Every round is going to be an absolute scorcher, and I cannot wait to watch.
Brahms with a 2:29.445. That's just over half a second quicker than our 2025 world champion, Adrienne Paynal. But qualifying is just one part of it. Now it is the head-to-head racing, and it's our first chance to take a look at this new turn. Now, nobody's given me a name for it yet, so we might have to just make one up, Adam. But very quickly, Nick Brahms has the red leg sleeve on. He is the fastest qualifier. Paul Vogel from France came through in 9th place. He's in green, and Lisa Peters in this one in blue. Lisa's not been 100% today, but she's going to give it her all here. Great start from Brahms.
Yeah, huge start from Nick already, putting a significant lead out there in front of Paul Vogel. Paul Vogel is definitely, he's a newer rider, but he's been looking really quick. I'm really interested to see what he does in this race. You know, if he can stay in the mix with Nick here, if he can kind of stay in his draft. And Lisa, too, you can never count her out. She's an absolute shredder, and she's definitely going to be wanting to put the pressure in and see if she can get up into the quarterfinals. But Nick right now definitely putting out a commanding lead.
Yeah, that's what you'd expect. He's maybe not quite 100% on the gas. You see him looking over his shoulder. We got some speeds for you there. We're testing out some data. Testing being the key word here. If you've stumbled across us today for the very first time, top 2 in each heat progress through to the next round. Adam, whilst we're on the first heat, Brahms has got control of this one. Vogel in 2nd place, Peters in 3rd. This course is brutal, isn't it? This is the toughest track on the circuit. Talk us through this hill.
It really is kind of the premier racetrack of the season right now, or that we have running, period. I mean, it's so steep. It's really hard to understand how steep this track is until you've been there. I mean, the first year that I was at this track, the car we were driving up the road with literally stalled out just flooring it. I mean, driving at full speed and just ran out of torque. That is how steep this thing is.
That sounds like bad driving to me, but yeah, we know what you mean. Yeah, it doesn't let up though, does it? The speed is high. The turns come at you. It is start to finish maximum effort on this hill.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, it's like 30% grade, and it's these massive straightaways. You just, you know, you're looking down at the next turn, and it's so far below you, and the acceleration factor is just huge. I mean, you are just hurtling towards the next corner, and then it's got these massive drifts, you know, big drifts both directions. You know, you got to shut your speed from, you know, 110, 120 Ks down to like 50, 60K in a very short amount of time. It's a really challenging racetrack.
Well, this is going to plan for Nick Brahms. He went on a little bit of a tear last season, didn't he, from Isle of Man onwards. And he started this season meaning business with pole position. And he's going to take round number 1, heat number 1, very comfortably. Paul Vogel in 2nd place into the quarterfinals. Lisa Peters comes through in 3rd place. But right the way through these heats, they are absolutely stacked. In the 2nd heat, Lucas Schuld, 8th in qualifying, a 2:33.029. He is in red. Jaime Arce in green from Spain. Adriano Volpe from Argentina in blue. And Antonio Francis Bonventre from Italy in the yellow bib. Had a good run in the QS race yesterday, getting through to the semi-finals, supported by Aprica, Cataneo and Zonkis. And we look at the red leg sleeves as the top qualifiers, but every single racer, Adam, in these heats has got a chance, because we forget the times. They give us a guide, but it's all about executing, isn't it? Head-to-head racing. Make the pass, make it stick.
Yeah, I mean, we're already in such a stacked round here. Lucas Schult, Jaime, Adriano Volpe. I mean, this is, and Francesco, this is a really strong heat already. You've got some premier racers lining up first round, and that's what you get at this level of racing, is every single round is going to be a heater. And I think we're going to see a really good battle in this heat already.
Different start positions as well. Oh, we got a false start there. That is the wrong graphic there. Apologies for that. That is from the previous heat. We got Lucas Schult, Jaime Arce, Adriano Volpe, and Antonio Bonventre from Italy in this one. Vincenzo, our new starter, sporting some excellent headgear and trousers. Second time of asking. Let's get them re-racked. And ready to go. This to face Nick Broms and Paul Vogel in the first of the quarterfinals. So here we go, second quarterfinal underway. It is a nice start from Jaime Arce, but look at that move by the man in blue, Adriano Volpe. Frank's getting in the mix as well in yellow, Bonventre. And Schultz at the back of the pack right now, Adam, into this second hairpin.
Yeah, we're almost opposite according to seed here off the start. It's a crazy way to start this heat. You've got a battle here, three in the back, all duking it out for that second place spot. And, of course, it's top two advance, so you got to get in first or second here. But there's a lot of course left. Lucas now tracking, seeing if he can try to make a move somewhere, hopefully biding his time and waiting for the right opportunity. Lucas now pressuring, and he's up the inside. Lucas into second place there.
Yeah, that's a strong move. Maybe he was just thinking that first hairpin, there could be carnage. I'm going to avoid any trouble in this first heat. Back himself, back the pace that he's got on this course. But you don't want to be too careful
Volpe
because
around the
there
outside.
comes Volpe back up into second
goodness.
place. And Jaime Arce still in the lead into turn 6, Adam.
Wow, what a move by Volpe to take that spot. And Lucas already pressuring it back there. I think we're going to see these two duking out on the whole track. Lucas gets around and looks like he has stepped into the lead position now. With Volpe pressing for second.
Oh, was that contact there? I think it's just a little wobble, maybe some contact, but it's okay. No, Lucas Schultz in the lead of the race.
Wow, so you've got Lucas and Volpe now leading this race from the back all the way to the front. They're getting over the seam crack there. Volpe now pressuring up the inside of Lucas. Going to see if he can take that first place spot. Wow, Volpe just getting around there.
What a battle we've got on. Jaime Arce is not out of it either because this is such a brutal turn on this course. There's a battle building for second place. Jaime Arce through, up into second. It is all go in heat number 2, Adam.
Jaime Arce got around the outside there and is now looking like he is in an advancing position. Unless Lucas Schultz can make something happen in the bottom of this course, he is going to be out for the count here. And he has not got a lot of time left to make something happen. He's going to see if he can track him down. But I got to say right now, it's looking like it's going to be Jaime Arce and Adriano Volpe.
Volpe's in third place. Lucas Schultz still in the lead of the race through the final turn. But man, did we have some serious passing on that in that heat. We'll confirm the 1, 2, 3, 4 for you officially. Mr. Chris McBride in the finish, working it all out for you.
Wow.
We'll bring you up to speed, but wow, a lot happened there. That was exceptional racing.
Yeah, Lucas and Volpe got switched on their positions. I didn't realize who was in what spot. That was Lucas in front there and not Volpe. But wow, what a battle down the back part of that race.
Unfortunately, just the two riders taking it to the start of heat number 3. Selena Tyler sitting out, Jesse Fabrizio as well. So Bouclier with the red leg sleeves on from France, and Micaiah Harness from your neck of the woods in Colorado in green. Now these two, they know they're going through to the quarterfinals. Do they duke it out here, or do they treat this as a training run? I think I know what the answer is on this course.
Looking like a training run. So these two have taken a no-push lap, which is actually a pretty reasonable thing to do. You've got, only so many full sprint starts in you in a day. So for these two, both in an advancing position, to be able to just take a freebie, save your hamstrings for a run, why not? Why bother straining the hamstring and hammering out a push if you know you're going to advance?
It's a long, long day of racing, isn't it? And there's been Q2 and Q3 for these riders as well, or for most of these riders. Some of them didn't make Q3. Training runs as well. And if you want to win this race, you've got to get through 4 heats of racing. So any opportunity that you've got to just conserve a little bit of energy, you've got to take it. Both of these riders, they know this hill really well. Bouclier, of course, knows it very, very well. He's won here in the past, hasn't he? And Micaiah is no stranger to Erzincan either.
Yeah, Micaiah, experienced skater. He's been here a couple years now. This is his 3rd year here. And he's looking to do some damage. You know, he's been kind of quietly building on the scene the past few years, and he's going to be wanting to get into, you know, a strong position here. He's a great racer. He's feeling confident in this course. You know, I actually talked to him earlier. He said his mental game is feeling fantastic, and he's feeling really strong on this course, and he's looking to put down a good result.
The other advantage for these two as well, track conditions change throughout the day, don't they? What you race, what you warm up on in the morning compared to the afternoon where the sun's been on the course. There's been a lot of riding. Thankfully, no rain today. So it's an opportunity without being in like full race conditions for these two to just, how's the road feeling right now in the afternoon in the Turkish sun?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, this is a big shakeup too. This could have been quite the heat there. Selena Tyler not in this heat and Jessie Fabrizio not in this heat. Both really good skaters. So to see them out early, you know, hate to see it. I hope that's not due to injury for either of them.
It is sadly for Selena. She's picked up a little injury, so we wish her all the best. And a real shame because she's been looking so fast on this course. But what these two have got to remember is their finishing positions to determine their leg sleeves, their colours for the next for the quarter-final. And, you know, maybe every advantage counts. And now we're seeing them side by side. The finish line just up ahead on this 3-kilometre racetrack and in top spot. Right now is Bouclier. Mackay Harness will say, that's cool, I'm in the quarterfinals. And we will move on to the next heat. So Bouclier and Harness go into quarterfinal number 2. We've got Broms, Schult, Vogel and Arce in quarterfinal number 1. Harry Clark wears the red leg sleeves, giving us a wave. How you doing, Harry? There you go, playing to the cameras. He knows we're all watching. Solid in qualifying, Harry Clark, with 4th place, a 2:31.035. But his racecraft is one of the best in the business. Thomas Ng from Hong Kong, wearing green. He had put together a really nice Q2. Just missed out on a place in Q3. I think he was really happy with his run. And Lukas Kuba from Czechia in the blue. It's an interesting one, isn't it, Adam? Because Harry and Thomas have known each other for a long time, haven't they? Two skaters with Harry living in Hong Kong, growing up there.
Yeah, absolutely. Those guys came up skating together. They've got a lot of experience, you know, skating around each other, racing around each other. It's going to be great seeing them getting to ride together in this heat. You know, of course, Harry naturally would be the favorite here, but you can never count out these other two riders. Lukas Kumba putting out a big push there, but Harry's going to get the advantage through turn 0, if you will.
We got to get a better name than that. We got to get a better name. Whoever crashes first in the finals, we're going to name it after you.
We'll name it. Oh, man.
Yeah,
brutal.
if you crash on turn 1, whoever goes down, that's it. Be like in alpine skiing where there's like Canadian corner and stuff like that. But Harry, yeah, he'll have the confidence that he's got this one. But the battle for 2nd place could be very, very interesting. Right now, Thomas Ng in 2nd at the moment with Lukas Kuba in 3rd. But there is a long, long way to go on this racetrack. And things come at you very, very quickly. A mistake is never far away on this stunning road in Erzincan, Turkey, round 1 of the World Downhill Skateboarding Championship.
Yeah, you know, and if you're battling it out in 2nd or 3rd in this heat, you're saying, you know, okay, maybe I'm not going to beat world champion Harry Clark right now on the spot, but I have to advance through this heat to make it into the quarterfinals. So this battle for 2nd is a real battle. It's going to be very meaningful for the results of the rest of this race. And let's not count out that they could catch up to Harry.
The Czech rider Cooper putting the pressure on there, but Thomas holding on to 2nd spot. Harry Clark has got the distance. That is going to give him a nice advantage here. But as you were saying, Adam, no, Kuba's got to sit in that draft, not let Thomas get too far away here. He's doing a great job of it as well.
Yeah, it looks like he's still holding in this slipstream. He's definitely still got the opportunity to pressure Thomas here, but he's going to have to find a way to up the pace just a little bit if he wants to get around. We almost saw that pass in 6th, but Thomas got it right back on the exit. So Lucas is going to have to find some way to pressure in a way that he can sustain a lead if he catches a pass.
Turn 6 is a risky place to pass as well. I'm sure at some point we're going to see it. You just never know. But the risk-reward factor, pretty big there. If you get it right, you can be off and away. Now we're seeing Harry just turn on the afterburners, and now Lucas Kuba looking to make the pass on Thomas Ung from Hong Kong. Little mistake there. Two riders in the bales.
Both of them in the bales. It's going to be a race to get up on the board and see who can get it faster. Both looking for their setups and kicking back in.
It's Thomas Ung from Hong Kong that has got up the quickest. And our man in the video review booth, it's not quite as glamorous as that, Zach Maiden, will be having a look, I'm sure, just to make sure everything was all fine. And there we see Thomas crossing the line in second place. Maybe we'll get a replay of it, I'm not sure, but we will find out once we get confirmation of who has made the quarterfinals. Here we go, Adam.
There's that replay. You can see them both just heading for the bales. Didn't quite see the breaking point that caused that. I don't know if there was any contact. They were definitely close there, but hard to say if there's any contact before them to sliding out.
It's the breaking point we got to see that will determine anything there. But either way, Harry Clark looking comfortable, joins Bouclier in harness in quarterfinal number 2. We move on. Antoine Carlotti, third in qualifying. 2:30.144. He wears the red bib in this one. Beast Ching from China in green. He's been looking strong. He's over on the left-hand side of the racetrack as we look at it. Wojciech Zaczek from Czechia in that silver suit wearing blue. Sabrina Ambrosi from Argentina in yellow. They're all safely through the first turn. Nobody wants it named after them. That's why this could be another very, very tasty heat. Adam, Carlotti has just been rapid all weekend long on this course.
He's so talented. You know, a course like this is perfect for him because it's so technical, and he is so good when the board is sideways that he is going to love a track like this. But right now, sitting in second position, you know, I think he wants to finish this in first. I don't think he's going to be happy with just an advancing second place. So he's going to be putting the pressure on Ching. But right now, a little bit of a gap there. Looking to build and get some pressure.
He's got to just find his way through this one. As you said, I don't think he's going to want second place. Maybe just trying out some tactics. But Beast in the lead is quick, so you can't let him get away. And now we're approaching turn 6. Wojciech Zaczek in third. Ambrosi still in fourth place. Oh, Carlotti loses it. Big drama in the first heat, and one of the top contenders has now got his work seriously cut out. Adam, that is a huge mistake from Carlotti, and there may not be enough racetrack left. Zaczek in second has got to focus now because there's a place in the quarterfinals up for grabs.
Devastating fall for Carlotti, and right after I was talking about just how comfortable he is sliding, shocking to see him going down in 6. That is not what I expected to see. Of course, there is a ton of racetrack left, and you know that's a slow section. You can kick out of it almost as fast as you could exit speed, but he is going to have to do some serious work to catch up. There's a ton of track left. He's got time to potentially do it, but it's going to be really, really challenging.
If he's going to do it, it's going to go right down to the line. That is for sure. In the lead right now, a man from China. I believe this is the first WDSC race where we've had Chinese competitors, so welcome. Thank you for coming along. It is Ching Kyun Hyu in top spot, continuing the good form he's showing all weekend. Wojciech Zaczek from Czechia in second, but where is Carlotti? That is the question. Our man from China is going to take this one. He looks over his shoulder. He could celebrate. He's in the quarterfinals. But where is Carlotti? Where is Zaczek? I think Carlotti got him. I just seen a little flash of Frenchman cross the line just before the Czech rider. Wow.
Wow, yeah, I just caught a glimpse there, but it looked like it was Carlotti. Made up enough time down the back half of this track. I would love to see how he did that. Yeah, he must have been on an absolute ripper. And let's see that replay. And Carlotti looks like it just gets away from him a little bit. That hookup point, so awkward through that corner. It's so steep, and your wheels are just absolutely smoked from sliding, 100-plus feet. And looks like you just couldn't quite hook it up, and it just runs away from him a little bit.
That was a let-off. A massive let-off, because in the next round, you're not catching up, are you, unless somebody else makes a mistake. So confirmed that Carlotti did go through. Just seen it flash up on the bracket here, along with Jing Yun from China. We move on. How good is this heat? Barbizzi, he qualified in 6th place today. He wears the red, the man from Italy. Fabio Minning from Switzerland in green. Hussein Naz from Norway. He's been here before in blue. And Patrick Stoll, who had some problems in Q1 yesterday, but man, is he quality. He's in yellow. This is stacked, isn't it?
This is stacked. This is stacked. Like we said earlier, we're going to be seeing some really stacked first-round heats, and this is definitely one of them. I mean, these are 4 really talented riders, and I'm excited to watch them battle, frankly. I think this is going to be an exceptional heat.
Just getting them all lined up on the start gate, maybe just waiting for some confirmation from something before we get the race underway.
Hussein just staying cool in the shade back there. These guys are in the baking sun all day. Definitely doesn't hurt to, get the sun off you for a couple minutes, cool off right before you kick in.
So there was a crash on corner 10, and they're just sweeping that crash. It must have been Sabrina Ambrosi. I hope that Sabrina is okay. And they're just sweeping up now ahead of heat number 6. Well, Patrick Stoll in this one. It's his first visit here, supported by Base, Noble, Fiendskate, and Sundays. Yellow, but forget qualifying in this one. Forget it. Now, Patrick Stoll has got the ability, hasn't he, to get through here. Any one of these 4 riders can.
He is, and let's not forget, he's yellow because there was a crash, so there's no telling what pace he would have been on without that crash. It definitely it mixes things up so much. If someone crashes in the first round of qualies, it's like you only get one shot if you crash and you don't make it to that Q2 spot, and it can totally shake up the bracket. And you can get really high-paced riders down low in the bracket. And it can make for some really challenging heats like this one.
Well, Barbizzi all in red. Venom, Borstal Skate Shop, BDS, Rikame, all in there. And they are all waiting. And it is difficult when you have to wait in the sun. It's getting warmer this afternoon, and we are just waiting for the command to get this next race underway. Well, Adam, I think Naz has found the right spot there, hasn't he? Just to say that, he moves out the way. And, but a little bit of shade, you got to find every advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look at some of these heats coming up. After this one, things stay hot for the next couple of heats. We've got the next one's Owen Fox, Max Caps, Carlos Shada, and Dean Mott. A heavy hitter. I mean, all around heavy hitter. Once again, Dean Mott, I believe with a crash in his qualifying run. I could be wrong there, but definitely a fast rider. Not usually a kind of a 4th seed rider. And then the next round after that, Adrian Pinel, Vasek Tranchata, Morgan Owens, and Marco Zinni. I mean, it's stacked all the way down.
It's only going to get even more stacked as we go through these heats. I mean, we're looking at the first quarterfinal: Broms, Schult, Vogel, Arce. Second, Clark, Bouclier, Thomas and Mackay harness. We've got Jing Yu and Antoine Carlotti already into the quarterfinals, and take 2 out of these 4, and you've got another heavy quarterfinal 3. So this race is, yeah, you look at the qualifying times and you go, okay, Broms is on one here. We know what Harry Clark can do. We know what Paynel can do. We know what Carlotti can do. Bouclier on this course. But we've seen in that last heat how easy it is, how quickly things can go wrong on this hill. And that sort of thing happens again, like what happened with Carlotti. He was lucky there was no other riders involved. Things can change very, very quickly. Course is still being cleaned at the moment. A little bit of loose hay, we believe, down at corner 10. As soon as it is all clear, we will get the racing back underway. The other thing, Adam, we were talking about before we came on air as well, this is the biggest field we've ever had in Erzincan. It's our 4th visit here, our 5th trip to Turkey on the World Downhill Skateboarding Championship. But if you make a mistake in the first round, because we've got a full bracket here, the championship implications are massive.
Yeah, the point spread from an accidental first round knockout when there's 12 people in the field, you still get quite a few points, or 8 people in the field, a smaller field. But with 30 people, I mean, if you make a mistake first round and you're out, yeah, the point deficit is going to be enormous.
Is it a little early to be talking about championships? It's never too early. It's the World Downhill Skateboarding Championship. And we are loving the action so far here in Erzincan, Turkey. Just a month or so to go until the Isle of Man on the TT track. We're going downhill, not uphill, though. Going in reverse down into Ramsey on the TT track. Then a little bit of a break. It's Cumberland Valley, USA in September. And then El Salvador Tamanite Grand Prix in December. We are ready for heat number 6. Barbizzi, Minning, Naz, Stoll. And we get underway with the racing. Great push from Barbizzi. Gets that whole shot. And in the lead, Hussein Naz in 2nd. Fabio Minning in 3rd place. Patrick Stoll in 4th. And we're on the drone already into this new turn before we pick up the old part of the racetrack.
Yeah, and Fabio Minning looking for a way to pressure and get into that 2nd place position. And like we talked about it yesterday, Fabio, aggressive rider, definitely not afraid to get in the mix. So he's going to be looking for a way up the inside of Hussein Naz here. But Naz trying to hold him off and stay in the slipstream of Barbizzi. Already looking like he wants to attack. You can see him just looking for any opportunity. But Stefano Barbizzi stepping away with a little bit of a lead now. And Fabio, there he goes, around the outside of Hussein Naz. Nice pass from Fabio. They're going to go side by side. Let's get to see who can get the advantage out of it. Hussein not willing to back down just yet. Going to see if he can hold off Fabio into the next braking section. If he can hold off the advantage into turn 6, then he can exit. They're going to stack up in that turn. Hussein looks like he holds him off.
I'm watching here. Watch Patrick because he's right in touch. You could see him looking. He's lost that connection now with Fabio and Hussein. But earlier on in that track, he was right in touch. What's going to go here? And he was looking like maybe a pass was on the cards. Strong run so far from Barbizzi. He's built a bit of distance. Hussein Naz in 2nd place right now. But Fabio Minning, he is lurking. He's got to get in that draft, though, hasn't he? Because he don't want to let Naz get too far ahead. He's making that connection now. Is there going to be a pass on the cards for Fabio Minning? He's trying to find some room up the inside. Hussein Naz closes the door. They're side by side. Fabio Minning gets the spot, holds that tuck a little longer, and he's up into 2nd. What execution that was from the Swiss rider.
Flawless pass by Fabio. That's the type of work you expect him to be doing in a race like this. He, bides his time, waits for the opportunity, and then just pressures. Not afraid to go side by side and wait. He knows he's got enough straight line speed to make it happen, but he just has to be patient and be willing to go side by side until he's able to pull away. And that's what we just saw. He's even almost about to pressure for the P1 right here.
Yeah,
around
he's not done with
Barbizzi.
second, is he? He's not done with second. I want to grab first place. Send a little message to Barbizzi. He's got the line there. Oh, there's a little bit of shoulder contact, just fighting for some space. Barbizzi trying to shut the door of them. The two of them fighting to the line. Barbizzi holds on. Fabio Minning in second place. What a pass that was from Fabio Minning.
Yeah, you know, he tried it once, he tried it twice. On the second one, he was able to make it stick. That was a flawless execution from Fabio.
Okay, heat number 7. Owen Fox found a little bit more in Q3. Maybe give him some extra confidence. He was second here last year. Max Caps in green, his first visit to Turkey. Carlos Scherer in blue from Switzerland. And Dean Mont from the Netherlands in yellow. Another heat with 4 quality riders. Fox coming through Q3 in 7th place. Not getting the best of the pushes here. And he's just going to sit in second. That blue lane that Carlos Scherer was in, working perfectly there. He executed that one magnificently out of the gate. And now Fox trying to make, is he going to go for the pass on the inside now onto the old part of the racetrack? He gets top spot. Max Caps sitting in 3rd place. Dean Mont down in 4th.
Yeah, Fox wasting no time trying to get to that top spot, but Max Caps also looking for some pressure there and takes the lead. Max Caps just slips into 1st place there, leaving Owen Fox in 2nd, Dean Mont in 3rd, and Carlos Scherer now back down to 4th place. Of course, Dean's still in touch and looking for a 2nd place spot, but Owen and Max duking it out up in 1 and 2 right now. Owen right up the backside of Max Caps, and he's going to get around and see if he can take a leading position and make it stick. Is going to go around the outside, and it does look like Owen Fox is going to hold that out, but Max Caps still deeply in touch here. Dean Mont now coming up and going to see if he can find a way up Max Caps. Let's see if he can do it before or into turn 6, or if he'll have to wait and try to get it in the sweepers afterward.
Well, this is where experience on this racetrack can really count. We know Fox has got that experience as well. We're playing with the live graphics as well. It will update, might take a few seconds. It'll tell you the order that the riders are in. There's a big battle going on for 2nd place between Max Caps and Dean Mont. Dean Mont in that yellow suit. Max Caps on the left-hand side of the road. That black and white cross. And Owen Fox now finding the room that he needs to build a big, big advantage in this heat.
So much pressure from Dean Mont here. And they're getting through the faster sections of this course now, which is where Max Caps really shines. He's so fast in a straight line, and he's put just a little bit of time into Dean there. He's built himself a tiny bit of breathing room, where before they were side by side. Dean Mont now running out of some time to make a pass, but there's still one more braking zone to do it. And he's up the inside of Max Caps. What a pass!
No road there. How did he do that? How did he find that space? But the battle is not over yet. What a move from Dean Mont. Now Max Caps has got his work cut out. Oh, Dean Mont into the barrier. Oh, after all that hard work, Dean Mont hands the place back. And Max Caps is in 2nd. Adam, wow.
Heartbreaker for Dean Mont there to make, I mean, the pass of a lifetime. It looked like he passed him in the gutter and then couldn't quite hold on to it in the braking zone. That is, I mean, just devastating for Dean Mont.
I will be honest, I didn't see that space was there. I thought he was in the gutter as well. But what a brave move. We'll hopefully get a look back at that one because, well, it didn't stick in the end. But it's going to take some beating for pass of the day. Wow. Let's have a look back at him.
Let's get another look. Dean Mont just can't quite hold on to it there. You see again, we saw this. It's the same kind of thing we saw earlier with Antoine Carlotti. Just can't quite make it hook up. You know, maybe the wheels are getting a little too hot, you know, later in the day. But, yeah, just couldn't quite get him to hook up there. And when you're looking for them to you know, sink back into a line and turn you in, and they don't, and your weight's distributed to try to get the board to hook up and start arcing in, and it doesn't, just takes you right into the bails.
It's only the first round, folks. If you've got up in the middle of the night, like Adam, and you're watching us, well, sorry for waking up your whole house. But we got a long way to go. And we are excited. We are up for it today. It has been a great week here in Erzincan, Turkey. Huge thank you to our hosts and everybody out there on the hill, all the marshals, everyone, all the crew that have been putting the bales in place, getting the safety on this course. It's looking as good as I have ever seen it, and as a testament to everyone that has worked on it. Here we go. Heat number 8. Paynel didn't get pole position, but it's the race that counts. Vasek Vankara from Czechia in green. Morgan Owens had problems in qualifying yesterday. He's in blue. Don't count him out. And Marco Zanni from Italy. False start called there. Vincenzo not happy. Rightly calling it.
Wow, and a DQ. Not something we see very often, but for those of you at home, if you get 2 false starts back-to-back, that is a disqualification, and that's what they're currently calling on Marco Zanni. We'll see if that goes to a protest or if they go to any video footage, but very, very uncommon that you see a DQ from a back-to-back false start.
I'm just trying to listen in. Vincenzo being very, very clear there. He's made his decision. He's been clear. He's explained it to Marco. A shame for Marco Zanni there. Obviously, we can't call it Adam unless we looked back a few times on it. But the rules are there, and they've been applied. Let's get on with the heat with 3 riders left. Paynel, Vankara, and Owens. Might just be having a little issue with the beeps.
Boy, Marco Zanni, after such a strong finish in the QS race yesterday,
yeah,
that's got to hurt. That's not the way you want to go out.
So here we go, the last of the round of 32, the 8th final strong push from Paynel. Gets out in a top spot. Vankara in 2nd place right now. And Morgan Owens running in 3rd. Again, this is one of these ones where we know how good Morgan Owens is. And forget yesterday's qualifying, more practice time on the course. And Owens down that left-hand side of the racetrack, Adam, putting everyone under pressure and grabbing top spot.
Yeah, Owens now in a leading position. Such a strong rider. Oh, Frenchie now up the inside, and Morgans is going to give him position and slot back into 2nd. Bide his time for a better position to try to take back that leading spot. Vasek still fighting so hard for 2nd spot. Now side to side with Morgan Owens. I got a feeling we're going to see these two battling it out the rest of this race. Vasek looking like he may pull the advantage here, but hard to say just yet. They're going to continue going side by side, door to door. Vasek does get the advantage, just slips into the lead of Morgan Owens there.
Well, now we're seeing Paynel just start to pull away a little bit, but he's got 2 serious riders behind him, and they will not want to let him get away too much. And Vankara right up in touch with Paynel here, and that could bode well. Owens has got to keep that connection with the Czech rider ahead of him to have a chance, because it's this section, Adam, where Paynel is so quick. He's got that beautiful tuck position. The aerodynamics are flawless, and he can pull away. But as we've been saying all weekend, we said it yesterday, Vankara is quick on this hill, and he's showing it here.
Yeah, there's so much time to be gained and lost through these sweepers. If you can stay locked through it and find a way to speed some time there, Morgan Owens, you can see pulling time. Wow. Morgan Owens now in that 2nd place spot with an absolutely textbook pass around Vasek.
Vasek's trying to get back in touch with Owens, and Paynel not getting as far away as many would have thought on this racetrack. He's kind of made it his own last year, but the battle is heating up, and Paynel will be in a tough race in the quarterfinals, that is for sure. But the battle's still going on for 2nd place, and now it is going to be a drag race to the line. It's been solid from Morgan Owens so far in 2nd place. He's just got the distance on the Czech rider in 3rd place. And Paynell is going to come through, cross the line, take his place in the quarterfinals with Owens in second place. And yeah, maybe there's more in the tank, but you cannot take risk because of the quality of riders that we've got. Let's get a look back, Adam, at the replay on Morgan. I believe it's going to be Morgan Owens making the pass. He'd talk us through it. Or talk us through the start barriers. Looking good.
Yeah, let's see how he does this here. You can see him just screaming around Vasek. I don't know where he was able to pull that kind of speed, but somehow was able to pick up quite a bit of speed and just pick up that spot around Vasek, and that was all she wrote.
Wow, round of 32 done. So with the round of 32 done, riders making their way back to the top. Let's take a little break. We'll be back in just a few moments. Huge thank you to the Ohio Wheel Company, one of the sponsors here on the World Downhill Skateboarding Championships. We really appreciate the support you gave us last season and this season, so please do go check them out. Just waiting on riders making their way back to the top. And now, Adam, let's take a look at these quarterfinals. I'm looking at that last quarterfinal. Paynell, Fox, Capps, Owens.
Yeah, they're all going to be absolutely stacked. But, yes, definitely that last one. I mean that looks like a finals.
Yeah, there's just so many good riders all the way through the field. What we're going to do now, the losers are just going to have a little warm-up run. This is not a race. There's George Cheeseman and Nick McCurdy there going to have a warm-up, and we'll be, I believe, getting on with the stand-up quarterfinals once everyone is ready. We've got the gondola here, so the riders are whisked back to the top pretty quickly. So just the two there are warming up. Everyone else are just staying in the shade. It's not the hottest it's ever been in Erzincan, in the low 20s, but the sun is so strong. So many of the riders just electing to stay in the riders' tent. Plenty of water for them there, some Turkish tea as well, if you want that. And we're going to just, let's pick up on the luge, the guys. This is just a training run, but it gives us a chance, Adam, to talk about what we're going to see later. And with no disrespect to the rest of the riders, it's Abdel Madzan versus Andy Lally, both of them in Q3 in the 227s. This bodes well for something special, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely expecting to see a great battle between those two. They're so close in the times, and they're both such seasoned and strong racers. But, you know, you can't count out Ulrich Becker either, you know. I mean, nope. He has raced here several times and done really, really well. He has looked so comfortable here in the past. So, you know, he could be up in the mix too. I think we're going to see some really good racing from luge. And, you know, the other thing about street luge racing here is they're able to get so aggressive with each other compared to the stand-up riders. Just because they've got a little more stability, you know, lying down, that if there's a little bit of contact between them, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean an automatic bail hit. And anyway, we're going to cut to a commercial here, and we'll be back shortly.
I mean, it hasn't really built yet. We'll see tomorrow and then race day. But really, I've just been going into it like it's another season, another start. So, gonna try to attack this season and not think about defending it. Just attack it like I did last year. This road is funny because it's really nice and it's our only staple that we always come back to on tour, and that's really nice. But it's funny because it has a way of changing every year. This year we have 2 new corners, and this morning has kind of been prioritizing figuring out which corners are slidey, which ones are gripping, as opposed to last year where everything was really slidey. So just trying to figure out where the track is evolved and figuring out these top 2 corners. But other than that, it's pretty similar to last year. So it's nice to always come back to the same track and have your own little history with the track.
Well, the 2025 world champion giving us some good insight there. And yeah, absolutely spot on. This track does change every single year. It's got its own little idiosyncrasies behind it. The conditions change, the weather changes. One man making his debut here in Erzincan, Turkey, but he's no stranger to us on the World Downhill Skateboarding Championship, is the legend that is Andy Lally. Let's hear from him now.
I've watched this race for the last 3 years on TV and reviewed the videos, and I knew it was going to be a crazy hill, but when you paddle off for that first time and you hit the first really fast set of S's, I was scared. I'm 5 runs in and I'm still scared. As I think, honestly, I think you'd be crazy not to be. Like, you need to respect this hill. And no matter what level of professionalism you are or have gone to, you've got to respect this hill and you've got to kind of keep yourself, especially in practice, kind of at 97, 98% before you really throw down for qualifying. The hill evolves too because it's a relatively dusty region, obviously. So, you know, the more runs we do, the stickier it gets, as long as we don't get any rain. So the track is getting faster, and you have to evolve with that. It's very much like a auto racing street circuit that's used for regular traffic all the time. You know, our first practice session when we go to Long Beach, when we go to Detroit, when we go to all these, you know, crazy street circuits, the first session's horrible. You're like, the car's garbage, and the second session it gets better, and the more rubber, and in this case urethane, that we put down and sweep off the track basically with our wheels, the stickier it gets. So we have to keep stepping up that game, but still respect that edge.
Fantastic to have Andy Lally here in Erzincan for the first time. He's learning quick, but you'd expect that with a man of his quality. One man that's been here many times before is Antoine Carlotti. We're going to hear from him in just a second. This was before he had that little moment in his first round heat, though. Let's go over to Antoine Carlotti.
It's gonna be hard to say something different than we say all the time, because we keep saying it's the heaviest track, it's the one we want to win, of course. But this year it's a little bit different. We got 2 new hairpins, which are making me very happy, because the push is now less important. I've been training my push because I knew it was really what I was missing last year. Now it's a little better, but still behind the top pushers. So that suits me better. You know, you do a couple push and then turn. It's not like the one who pushed the fastest. It's not like the one who pushed the fastest just go. You know.
Well, Carlotti has been pushing hard today, but a little scare in the opening round for Antoine Carlotti. Let's see how things go throughout the rest of the race. One of the favourites, though, for today's race is Harry Clark from Australia. Let's see what he has to say.
So yeah, 4th time back in Erzincan, 23, 24, 25, 26, and this is actually my 3rd time. I haven't made it every year, but every time we come here, Erzincan gives us a little bit of a surprise, and this year's no different. We have a track with 2 new corners, a couple of extra pavement features that we have to figure out. So day 1 is as stressful as ever, where you go in trying to figure out all the new quirks of the track. Also having this as the season opener is crazy. We got a little warm-up last year of Austria before we came here, but this year we're straight in the deep end. straight to the gnarliest track in the world. So yeah, wouldn't have it any other way, to be honest. So it's really interesting. Like, I obviously, someone who grew up racing in China, I have my OG, my old nemesis here, finally, Beast from China. We're not actually that big of rivals anymore. You know, we're mostly good friends. So it's really awesome to see him and his crew finally coming out to the world tour. These guys are at the top level of our sport, so they're here to prove that to everyone else, and I can't wait to see it. We also have a couple of new American guys coming on the tour. We have Brahms back on tour for the first time in a long time. So I'm keen to see what he can do, and yeah, it's going to make racing tight, and that's what we want to see.
Well, Harry Clark on the money. Brahms has been rapid. Beast has been rapid as well. Lisa Peters has been here a few times in the past as well. We're still waiting on riders getting ready for the quarterfinals. But whilst we're waiting, let's now hear from Lisa Peters.
It's good to be back in Erzincan. I skipped the race last year, so I do know I made progression in the past 2 years. So I have the feeling I ask more from myself on this track than the years before. Also because the women competition is stronger. So all of a sudden, some corners where I felt comfortable, I feel less comfortable because I know I have to push it harder and reach higher speeds. I went 94 today, but I know the guys go over like 104, 105. So there's a lot to progress, but I take it step by step. So yeah, we do have 2 extra corners. They're not fast because it's right after the start, but it means that during the start, we go straight into a corner. So like the previous track, we had a push, and you could just basically push until you reach the speed you want. Now you have maybe 5 or 6 pushes, and then the first right corner starts. And I know the start is a strong point, but now I can't get the full advantage of a strong push because I have to stop because the corner starts. So that's gonna keep the pack closer to each other, which means we're gonna enter the fast corner all together, I think. So it's gonna be exciting.
One man making his debut here in Erzincan, as we have said before, is Mr. Nick Brahms. He joined the tour a little late last season, bit of a comeback, and showed us his class, his form, and he hit pole position earlier on today. Let's hear what Nick has to say about his thoughts on Erzincan.
First time in this part of the world, it's gorgeous. It's unlike anything else I've really ever seen before. So, and the track is just an absolute monster. So, learning that has been today's task for me. Everybody else already kind of knows the course, you know, but for me, it's a total blank slate, and picking it up from zero. So, it's fun. The vibe of this whole event is just fantastic. We have all the facilities of a ski resort, which is insane for us. You know, we have a cafe about 20 feet away from where our little rider village is set up, which is pretty fantastic. So go get a coffee, go get some tea, go get a croissant, whatever you need in between runs, just keeping us kind of fueled up for the track. And everybody's been super kind. You know, the town of Erzincan is a completely foreign place for a lot of us, and everybody's just been so nice. Like, hey, where are you from most of the time? And they're just very welcoming, and it's been a really fun thing. So I'm loving it.
It's great to have Nick here, isn't it, Adam?
Yeah, it is. It is so good to see him back on the tour and back on course and looking so good, doing it in such good form. You know, like we said it already, but a P1 for him as a Erzincan rookie is a pretty wild finish.
That's massive, isn't it?
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, that's a huge confidence boost for the rest of the season. You know, we haven't really talked about this, but this course, like putting down the top quality position at this course is like one of the premier things that you can do in the sport, period, right now. It's like, it's the hardest track that we know. It's got, the most elite riders come out. Winning the race obviously is an exceptional feat, but, top quality here really is a huge, huge statement that says, hey, I've got, as good or better pace than anyone in the world right now when it comes to difficult, technical downhill skateboarding. So that is a massive, massive statement for him for the rest of the season. He's going to carry that with him throughout the whole rest of the tour.
He's not done yet, though, is he? Because now it's quarterfinals, and Nick Brahms there in the red. He's got Paul Vogel, who's making a fantastic debut. Chatting to Paul, Antoine Carlotti and Bouclier earlier today. They call themselves the Holy Trinity, the Paris Three. That's their words. Had to get that in. But Paul Vogel's made... they're also trying to give me some danger words. One of them that they gave me was, I think, SpongeBob. So there you go. I said there's no word that I cannot get into live commentary. And they never came back with a difficult one. So, we'll have to try again in the Isle of Man. It'll be something we do for you, Adam. Now you've got the experience and absolutely bringing it all to life for everyone at home. Adam, it's fantastic to be working with you again. I'll give you the lineup now for this quarterfinal. Nick Brahms will wear the red leg sleeves. Lucas Schultz in green. We've not talked much about Lucas. I think he deserves a moment or two, Adam, because he was 8th after Q3.
Yeah, Lucas, an incredibly talented technical rider. He's coming from North Carolina, seeing that I know well. I used to live there as well and did a ton of skating there. Ultra steep roads, really tight, and a high volume of roads there. He skated everything. Comes from a motorcycle background too, so an interesting blend of experiences there. And it's been showing out well for him. He's been, stepping into some bigger races and doing well. Hasn't quite gotten like the huge result yet, but I feel like one's coming for him, with the pace that he's been on. So really looking forward to seeing what he does this season. I'm hoping that he's with us the whole rest of the season here, but definitely excited to see his result at this race.
Yeah, really impressive debut here in Erzincan, as it is for Paul Vogel, who wears blue. They were separated by next to nothing, 8th and 9th, both in the 233s after Q3. And wearing it yellow, Jaime Arce from Spain. He was 16th, not getting out of Q2, but he's showing a fantastic pace. So top 2 into the semi-finals, 3rd and 4th, and Erzincan 26th is over for you. Brahms, Schultz, Vogel, Arce. 2 from the USA, 1 from France, 1 from Spain. And the quarterfinals about to get underway here in Erzincan, Turkey. And we do get underway. Look at the push from Nick Brahms. I like where the blue bibs are. Paul Vogel already in a battle with Jaime Arce. Is Vogel going to make the spot his own and get into 2nd place? Arce looking to go round the outside. It's all settling down nicely, and Brahms in the lead, exactly where he would want to be, Adam.
Massive start from Nick Brahms, exactly what you expect to see from him. A huge kick. He had the top hole shot yesterday, I believe, and massive kick from him, gets out front. And now if he keeps up this pace, it's going to be a battle for second. Jaime Arce currently pressuring and seeing if he can do anything here. He's got a battle with Paul Vogel, but of course Lucas Schultz still tracking, very much in touch. All 3 of them in the same slipstream. Lucas now looking for a way around Jaime Arce. They're going to go door to door, and Lucas just gets the advantage, slips into that 3rd place spot. Going to see if he can pick up 2 before turn 6 here.
Well, he's got the pace coming into turn 6, but he's going to need to keep his eyes open coming into this turn. For Nick Brahms, no problem so far. He's got the space. He's got the time. Beautiful work from Brahms in just great balance on the board. Vogel trying to put a bit of distance on Jaime Arce, who's in 3rd place. And Lucas Schultz is going to have to step on the gas pedal if he wants to get through into the semi-finals. But Adam, Brahms is away.
Yeah, Brahms nearly out of sight now. He's really built himself a commanding lead here. And Paul Vogel building himself quite a bit of space as well. Jaime Arce and Lucas are going to have to step up some pace here if they want to get into the semifinals. Currently looking like a pretty sizable gap there. But Lucas now looking like maybe he'll just get around the outside of Jaime Arce. And it does look like he's pulling away the advantage there. But he's got work to do to get into that 2nd place spot. Gaining up the backside of Paul Vogel.
massive gain, and no Vogel. He's brought Jaime Arce with him as well. Arce gets some speed out of that corner. He's going to get back into third place. Vogel's got to be careful here, but he just finds a little bit more room. Nick Broms has got the time. This is the last difficult turn on the course, and Broms is safely through. Vogel still making it work, and then coming through into third place is Lukas Schultz. Has he got enough? Can he get in the slipstream and fight right down to the line? Paul Vogel still in second place. Can Lukas Schultz get in touch? It's not going to happen for Schultz. Broms takes it, and at second place going to Paul Vogel. Well, Adam, we're going to take a look back at the replay.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of that fighting through some of this course. That was really, really good battles. In several spots throughout the course. There was some great passing back and forth. That was an excellent heat. Let's take a look at what we got. Excellent work from Lucas there. Just finds a little pace and uses it to pick up the position. And you can see him here through the fast sweepers into the lower section of this course. Nice pressure and getting around Jaime Arce there.
Quarterfinal number 2. Harry Clark, Andreas Bouclier, Thomas and Micaiah Harness. Now, Harry has never won on this hill. How much do you think that's at the back of his mind?
Oh, it's got to be on the back of his mind. I mean, he's been here so many times. You know he's comfortable here, an experienced rider like Harry, and he's won in so many different locations. This would definitely be a notch in the belt that he would love to have.
Well, fourth after Q3 for Harry Clark, and it's a course that really suits his skill set. Bouclier just standing by the start barrier. Where's the green? And Micaiah Harness, he's looked really smooth, just getting that GoPro fitted there, and get all the footage. Don't forget that well, let's give them a couple of weeks, shall we? We'll get the highlights show out, and you'll be able to see some of that in-race GoPro footage. The crack team will get it all edited together as well. Bring you a different angle. Keep an eye on social media at WDS Championship, I believe it is the handle. Just search for WDSC. You'll find it on Instagram. So much behind the scenes content, and you'll know when the highlight shows are dropping. Oh, Micaiah, as I was saying, riding really, really smooth this weekend. Pace has been okay, 13th in qualifying.
Yeah, he and Bouclier getting effectively that bye round in the first round. Now put against the pressure of the race. We're going to see how they handle that. It's definitely a big change from practice and bye rounds. They're finally going to be in a heat duking it out.
So just sorting out some drone batteries, folks. The drone pilots are working hard. They're doing an amazing job, Jack and Hunter. And we're going to have them in the Isle of Man as well, which bodes well. So we are delighted to have them here. But drones, they can be a little fiddly from time to time. If you've ever used one, you know what I mean. So just sorting out a drone battery, and we'll get quarterfinal number 2 underway as soon as we can. Just confirming the result from quarterfinal 1. Nick Broms and Paul Vogel going through. I panicked for a little bit because, not because I wouldn't have wanted to see Lukas Schultz go through, but they did have him in second place. That's all been updated. I was wondering if my eyes were deceiving me. They do on many occasions, Adam, but it was Paul Vogel that went through. Well, it looks like we are moments away from quarterfinal number 2. Harry Clark wears red. He's in the middle of your screen, that middle left lane. To his right, Andreas Bouclier from France, a winner here in the past on this hill. Micaiah Harness on the far left of your screen from the USA, and Thomason from Hong Kong in blue on the left-hand side of the road. Nice kick from Harry Clark, but Bouclier gets away well. He might just grab top spot here. Clark settles in to second place. Thomason in third, Micaiah Harness in fourth. Harry Clark trying to get through onto the old part of the racetrack now in top spot. A great battle already, Adam. in the opening exchanges.
Yeah, these two already trading blows back and forth. We've seen 2 passes back and forth just in the first 2 corners. I expect to see these two fight it out down the rest of the course. Thomas Ung still seeing if he can keep in touch with this race, stay in the slipstream of the other two, and pressure for a second-place spot. But right now, Bouclier just glued to the back of Harry Clark, going to see if he can get around the outside at some point. These two established, really experienced racers both know that they've got the pace. And they're just going to be playing the battling game through here. Bouclier around the outside. Is he going to be able to make it stick?
Yeah, it just does, but Clark knows it. Okay, it's quarterfinals. Got to get through turn 6. There's more time on this racetrack at Micaiah Harness. It looks like something's come off. Was that a puck, maybe? I'm not sure what happened there, but there was something that came off, and Micaiah's looking like he's got a problem. We'll try and work that out for you, but at the front of the race, it's Harry Clark trying to get top spot back from Andreas Bouclier. He's done that. These two have now got some big gaps on 3rd and 4th, and Clark in top spot again.
Yeah, and this is where, you know, it's interesting to see, are they going to play some games with each other and try to race a little bit, or are they going to take the gap that they have built and ride that all the way into semifinals? You know, if you play too hard here and you take yourself out, there's still potential to not make it into semis. So you don't want to do anything crazy. The most important thing is to just advance from this position. But it's so tantalizing to want to just fight it out for that top spot.
Well, these guys, they just love racing, don't they? They want to fight for every position. I'd love to see what happened on the entry to turn 6 again, because I'm sure I saw something come off somewhere. Maybe we'll be able to get a replay of that as Clark and Bouclier just able to relax a little bit here. They know they're into the semi-finals when Nick Broms and Paul Vogel are waiting. Job done for the 2 top seeds in this quarterfinal. Clark takes it, Bouclier in 2nd.
Yeah, we saw Micaiah looking down at his hands afterward. I do think he probably lost a puck there, but it's hard to say. It could have been a GoPro too. But based on the way he was looking down at his hands, it seemed like it was probably a puck. But hopefully we'll get a replay and see what was going on there. Definitely some problems for him in the backfield.
In the backfield. Love it. So that first quarterfinal, semi-final all ready. Broms, Clark, Bouclier, Vogel. There's Micaiah Harness. Let's see if we can spot it, Adam. See what happened coming in, just for our interest and everyone at home or on the bus or the train or wherever they're watching.
You know, the fact that he made it down to the bottom of the hill would imply that maybe it wasn't a puck, but let's see.
Well, let's see the pass that Bouclier made.
Bouclier so willing to get just crazy close to Harry Clark there. He just swoops right around the outside. I mean, just inches away, and they still are duking it out as the track changes directions there. And he's able to just edge him out. That was textbook, flawless work from Bouclier to get around.
Just got a little glimpse of turn 6. Very, very hard to see. We'll find out afterwards and maybe see what the riders were saying. So here we go, quarterfinal number 3. Stefano Barbizzi in red. Beast in green. Shin Hyun Hugh. Antoine Carlotti in blue. Now Carlotti was living dangerously in the first round, the round of 32, and Fabio Minning. Now he made some good overtakes in his heat as well. This is really open.
This is where it's really, really starting to heat up. I mean, we've been saying that through all these quarterfinals. They are just absolutely stacked. I mean, any one of these 4 riders could take the lead here.
So quarterfinal 3 underway. Barbizzi with that great kick gets into top spot, and he drags Beast with him in 2nd place. Carlotti in 3rd, Minning in 4th, and everyone looking, where is everyone else? Carlotti is going to have to do it the hard way here. Has he got enough room to go to the left of Beast? No, just sits in that slipstream. This is a 3-kilometer racetrack. Doesn't matter where you are at the top, it matters where you are at the finish line. And Barbizzi in top spot right now, but he is going to have his work cut out through this next section.
All three lead riders just sitting in the slipstream right now, so close together. And we're going to see these three battling out all the way down the course, I think. Carlotti just looking for a time to try to get around the outside of Beast. He's going to pressure a little here. Little bit of contact there. These two are playing it really aggressive, and Carlotti gets the advantage, pulls into that second-place spot, and is now tracking behind Stefano Barbizzi.
Well, this is where it went wrong for Carlotti in the round of 32. He's in second place behind Barbizzi. He's got to avoid any trouble this time that we've got two riders down. Minning and Beast are on the ground. It leaves two standing, Barbizzi and Carlotti. And turn 6 strikes again. But for these two, they'll have a little look over their shoulder at them. They'll know, okay, we're through. Semi-finals await.
I mean, it's the same game we just saw with Harry and Bouclier there. And it looks like we did lose a puck here. I thought I saw Fabio's puck rolling away. Him picking that up now. Not looking good for him. It's going to be difficult to pick up any kind of reasonable time unless we see another crash. Carlotti going ahead and going around the outside of Barbizzi there. He's not afraid to play some pressure games. He wants that top spot. He's feeling a little salty after that crash, and is looking to take the lead and get his choice of starting line in the next round.
Yeah, that could all make a difference into that first turn. As on paper, at least, these riders are more and more closely matched in terms of pace from qualifying. Last of the tricky turns. No mistakes here, gents. And the semi-finals await. Well, for Carlotti, just standing up tall. Both of them are now. He's going to take top spot. Bye-bye. Look how close Hunter's getting with that drone. Fantastic drone work at the bottom of the racetrack. Probably wouldn't be that close if they're fighting for position. But we trust you, Hunter. So, Carlotti avoiding all the drama this time around with Barbizzi coming through in second place. Well, Adam, we're going to see a little bit more on the replay from that one. There was a nice pass from Carlotti and a crash as well in turn 6.
Yeah, such aggressive riding today. You can see Carlotti, not willing to give an inch around passing here. He's not going to go, around the wide way. He's going to take it as narrow as he could, perhaps even a little contact. You can see Beast there like, hey, man. And then here's another shot of that crash. You can see it looked like some contact between Beast and Fabio Minning there. Not sure who initiated the contact. Honestly, there's not going to be much of a protest situation since they're in third and fourth anyway. But Carlotti then another shot of that pass around Stefano Barbizzi. Someone's feeling hot when they go for the pass when it's only the two of them in the front of a pack. If they go for the pass there, they're feeling like they're on fire.
You ready for this one, folks? Paynell, where's red? Fox, he was second behind Paynell last year on this track in green. Max Caps on his debut here in Erzincan in blue. Morgan Owens in yellow. I'm excited
and all California
for this
heat here. Of course, Frenchie's kind of a dual citizen. Adrian Paynell is partly in France too, but has spent a ton of time in San Diego. So big California heat here. These guys have all skated with each other a ton. I think they're going to have a good time racing each other.
They certainly are, and we're going to have a good time watching. Quarterfinal number 4. So here we go, and Owen Fox getting away. Well, pushes Paynell into second. That's worked well for Fox. Now he's got to defend that position into the next turn. We've seen quite a bit of overtaking on this top stretch. Max Caps in third, Morgan Owens in fourth. Look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4. All of these riders so evenly matched. Paynell sees a bit of a gap on the road, says thank you very much, takes top spot, and Fox just slots in behind in second.
All four so close here. Every single rider in touch with this race still. Max Caps air braking a little in the back, waiting for his opportunity to pass. Doesn't want to try to mount a challenge too early. And it's going to be Morgan Owens trying to pressure up the back of Owen Fox. Adrian Paynell now building himself a little bit of space, a little bit of breathing room. But Morgan Owens looking for any opportunities. Going to dive right inside of Owen Fox here and just squeak around over the paint.
Well, that was how to execute the pass. As now we're coming into turn 6. Paynell in the lead. Morgan Owens up into second place. Fox in third. Max Caps in fourth. I think Fox is quick on the bottom section. Runs it pretty deep out of turn 6. He's got to make that slipstream. Otherwise, Owens could be away here. And Morgan Owens putting that gap on Fox. That could be key. But Adam, we've seen on the bottom section through these next turns, Fox is very, very quick.
And there's so much time to be made up in the bottom section. You know, a little air brake here or a slightly later braking point can really put you back in touch with the race. Owens still very much in the mix here. He's got the slipstream. At those kind of speeds, the slipstream's pretty long, so he's still got some aerodynamics to help him. And there he is.
Oh, he goes
gonna see if he can dive in.
Oh,
who's going to pull away? It looks like Morgan Owens is going to still pull away just a little bit of an advantage there. Owen Fox not quite having enough room. Not without trying, though. Boy, he tried to shoot for that guy.
No, this is where Fox has to think about setting up for the final stretch. He's on the inside there. Shuts the door on Owens, but Owens is right in the slipstream. What a battle we have got for second place. Great tuck position from Owen Fox. But Owens in the slipstream. Has he got enough? Or can Fox hold on to second place? Paynell's into the semi-finals. Owens is not giving up yet. Oh, so close on the line. I think Fox just held him, but what a battle between those two, Adam.
Yeah, that one's going to go down to some GPS data at least, if not a photo finish. Let's see if we can get another cut of that finish because that was an unbelievably close result there. I do think Owen Fox probably had the advantage, but we're going to need to see another cut of that to be sure.
Yeah, I want to see that one again, but that's racing at the highest order. Let's see across the line. Yeah, it's Owen, isn't it?
It's Owen by about maybe one wheel diameter. I mean, not much at all.
Not a lot. Not a lot. Well, we have seen some of the best racing I've seen on this hill in the 4 years we've been coming here, Adam, and we've had some great overtakes. Turn 6 is doing its thing, isn't it? We knew that, but the passing today has been off the charts.
Yeah, let's take a look at this one here. Morgan Owens, like I said, just riding the line there, you know, body basically over the gutter as he gets up the inside of Owen Fox, and then Owen Fox taking that position back. He mounts the challenge. He has got to do it twice here. Here's the first one. Doesn't quite make it. Morgan Owens holds him off, closes the door a little bit, and I tell you, that takes some grit to stay on and hold that position off, and then finally finds his way through up the inside of Morgan Owens and is locked to the rest of the line.
So whilst we're waiting for our semi-finalists to get back to the top of the hill, inliners are having a quick warm-up, and whilst they are warming up and our skateboarders are working their way back to the top in the gondola, we'll take a quick commercial break and we'll be back with more racing in a few moments' time. Well, there's the scene looking down to the city of Erzincan here in eastern Turkey, our hosts for the 4th year in a row. Huge thank you to everyone in this part of the world for welcoming us again and putting this race on. It is luge time, and we get ready for the first of the luge semi-finals. And I'm super excited about this one. Now, interestingly, George Cheeseman told me he wasn't going to race. He's now on Mark Wilson's board. Mark was sadly injured yesterday morning. And George had been struggling with his setup and was just going to... It just wasn't comfortable, which on this track, you've got to be comfortable with your setup. So he is, I believe, going to race. He's on Mark Wilson's board. Ulrich Becker is there in the black and orange leathers. Those are Savia leathers. The orange helmet, and Abdel Madzan, the top qualifier in this one. So first of the luge semi-finals gets underway. Great start, as you'd expect, from Abdel Madzan. He went 2:27.456 in the first, in Q3 to just pip Andy Lally in that battle for pole position. Ulrich Becker in second place right now, and Ulrich will want to mix it up. He was 2:32.229 in the Q3 qualifying earlier on today. Adam, for Abdel, he is off and away in this semi-final.
Yeah, he's off to a really strong start. I mean, this heat, kind of going to seed so far. George Cheeseman's definitely going to have to do some work if he wants to get up into that second place spot. Of course, Ulrich Becker probably comfortable taking the second here and just going on into finals. I mean, Abdel's built himself such a margin. I don't think there's any reason Ulrich is going to be trying to put that kind of pressure on, but we'll see. You never know, but he may just be comfortable with this second place spot and head into finals. George Cheeseman, the one with some time to pick up in the back here.
Well, we could see on the graphic the distance. There's that classic Abdel lift to the board, the street luge. Get that extra braking. Ulrich Becker did close that gap a little bit. George Cheeseman still running in third place. Those live graphics for you, given the accurate positions. And getting up close and personal with Ulrich Becker. Abdel Madzan in that classic all-white suit up ahead. Now sitting up for the braking into this tricky sweeping section over the racetrack.
Yeah, Abdel coming over that seam with, flashes of the past. He knows he's going into the section where he took such a hard hit a couple years ago, right here through this big left-hander. But this year, feeling strong, running clean through that turn, all confidence. You love to see it. He knows he's in that P1 spot. He's feeling good this weekend.
Still holding it, and Ulrich Becker putting on a good show as well. Madzan supported by Seismic, Riptide, and Don't Trip through the last of the difficult turns, using every little bit of road he can. And this will be it for Abdel Madzan and Ulrich Becker. They are going to take the first two places in the big final a little bit later on today. After this, we've got we'll get the stand-up final semi-finals done as well. One more semi-final to come in the luge, of course. So regulation there for Abdel Madzan, and now we get ready for semi-final number 2. Andy Lally choosing the right-hand lane. Venom Bones Bearings, Rogers Brothers sponsors. Phil Spencer in the yellow suit. He wears green. Supported by Don't Feed the Bears, but please do feed Phil. Told me that he doesn't eat much on race days, so make sure he gets a good feed after the race. Josh Fieldwick in blue, and Nick McCurdy out of Bateman's Bay, Australia, 4 hours south of Sydney. First race for a couple of years for Nick McCurdy. He's on a prototype board from VBM in Melbourne. He is in the yellow, and Handley in an all-yellow suit. I like it when that all works out, like Barbizzi in his all red.
Yeah, it's got to be a good feeling when you get the the red leg sleeves to match the red suit.
Phil Spencer's almost got like a Jamaican flag vibe going there with the yellow, black and green combination. Those green leg sleeves. could be a really interesting battle. On paper, you say Andy Lally, but for second place, this could be interesting.
Yeah, I think we could see a real battle for second place here to see who else gets into the finals. I mean, it's no joke.
Ooh,
false
start. Green, I think that was called on Phil Spencer. Thankfully, they didn't get too far down the road. Could just put those street luges into reverse. So, second time of asking. Lally in red, Spencer in green, Fieldwick in blue, McCurdy from Australia in yellow. So we do get away cleanly at the second time of asking. Great start from Josh Fieldwick. Now Andy Lally puts that extra push in and dives down the inside to grab top spot. Phil Spencer in second. McCurdy made a pass on Fieldwick, but Fieldwick should have the line into this hairpin. Is he going to go for two? Right, he's almost lost control of the board. It's running out a little wide for Fieldwick. He hangs on, but Lally has Spencer for company. McCurdy on the inside pushes Fieldwick down to fourth place. Strong start, as expected, from Lally. But Spencer doing well. Oh, McCurdy clipping the bail. Takes out Fieldwick as well. Oh, you can see the frustration on Fieldwick there.
Making it all the way across the gutter and to the other side of the road. What a crash there. Good to see him on his feet, but I'm sure he is frustrated with the situation at hand. Now, Phil Spencer and Andy Lally have a massive gap for themselves. If they can just sit in this position, they'll be able to take 1 and 2 and cruise into the finals.
Yeah, it will be a cruise and another training run from Andy Lally. Phil Spencer's been here a few times, hasn't he? Fourth place for Spencer. Last year he's going to hit the final for the second year in a row. I'm sure our crew in the production tent will be queuing up the replay of what happened there between McCurdy and Fieldwick. But it's the lead-up, isn't it, Adam, that we really want to see, because that can tell us a little bit more about how the incident happened.
Yeah, I'll be interested to take a closer look at what happened there. It did look like a pretty big crash. Couldn't quite see what caused it, but definitely some serious contact there. And, you know, hay flying and crossing the whole gutter. And it's hard to see on screen, but that gutter is deep. It's probably thigh deep at least. I mean, it's a significant drop-off and quite wide, you know, 3-4 feet wide. So to get across it to the other side. Yeah.
Well, Lally, he's gone. He's off. And Spencer kept in touch on the top section, but Lally reads these lines just magnificently on the bottom section. It's hard to believe it's his first time on this hill. He is getting faster and faster for every single run he takes. Spencer is going to take his place in the semi-final, in the big final, along with Andy Lally. So Abdelmadz and Ulrich Becker, Andy Lally and Phil Spencer in the luge final. We'll take a look back at the replay, Adam, see if we can pick out what happened.
So here we see Nick McCurdy going up the inside of Josh Fieldwick. Looks like he's got enough speed to try to pull away with the advantage. And just going to see how they ended up somehow in the bales and across the gutter. It looks like Nick McCurdy ran a little wide, got bounced back in, and then Fieldwick with nowhere to go, just straight into the back of Nick McCurdy's street luge there. And then Fieldwick riding the luge right across the gutter.
One of those racing incidents that just happens. There was, as you said, Adam, there was just nowhere for Fieldwick to go. McCurdy made the great pass, hits the hay, but then loses it, and Fieldwick, trying to avoid a collision, ends up crashing himself. We hope they're both okay. Up next will be the stand-up for the skateboard semi-finals. So before we get to them, we'll take a little break and we'll be back with more racing in just a few moments' time. Just some final prep on the course ahead of the semi-finals. Adam, Nick Brahms, Harry Clark, Andreas Bouclier, Paul Vogel in the first of this. This is going to be electric, isn't it?
It is. I think electric is the only word we can use for something like this. All four of these guys just going to be absolutely throwing down. I mean, it's going to be a knife fight down this course, to be honest.
Now's the time to take the risk. Got through to this stage. Consi final is guaranteed. But with the quality of the field, you cannot sit back. You cannot hope for a mistake. You have to go. If there's a gap, you got to take it. Wherever it is on the racetrack, you got to go for it. Clark will wear the green bib. The green, I'm so used to winter sports and bibs. The green leg sleeve. Nick Brahms, pole position man in red. Bouclier in blue. Paul Vogel, what a surprise he's been today. Some amazing riding from the Frenchman. He's in yellow.
Yeah, you know, Nick Brahms has been able to, so far, mostly just run away with these heats, and I think this is going to be one where he's probably not going to be able to do that. He's going to feel a lot more pressure than he has throughout the beginning portion of this race.
We know all about his pace. 2:29.445 in Q3. But as you said, Andy, you feel he's going to be under a lot of pressure, especially on the top half. If he can get out of turn 6, turn 7 in the lead, maybe he's able to pull away a little bit, but it's going to be very difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's going to have, you know, Bouclier right up behind him, who's won at this course before. Harry, you know, previous world champion and ultra fast rider with a really good kick. That's the other thing. Nick's been able to outkick everyone so far for the most part, and I don't know if he's going to have that luxury with Harry Clark on his left side there. And then Paul Vogel, always a threat to the mix here. We've been seeing some excellent work from him today, so he's going to be in the mix too. All four of them really just going to be fighting it out.
Getting lined up for the first of the semi-finals. Bouclier, Happy Boardco, Valkyrie, Riptide 88, Wheelco. Paul Vogel, Lapolade 981, Skateboards. Harry Clark, On-Site Supply. Venom, get that skate. And Nick Brahms, well, we'll get to you, Nick, in a few moments, mate, because we're about to do some racing. So here we go, first of the semi-finals underway. Look at that kick from Nick Brahms. He needed to do that. Bouclier putting Clark under pressure. They're so close out of that first hairpin. Clark trying to find a bit of space. It's opened up nicely for Nick Brahms. He can pick his racing line through turn 1. He's got Harry Clark on the tail of the board. Bouclier there and Paul Vogel in 4th. Well, Nick Brahms needed a start like that, and he's got it.
All so close here. Bouclier getting sucked into a double draft, maybe a little faster than he wants. He wants to wait for a better opportunity. In these tight sections, it's going to be hard to make a pass, but he's just getting sucked in anyway. You can see him and Paul Vogel both trying to air brake to stay out of the tail of Harry Clark there. And they're going to want that aerodynamic advantage a little bit later, but maybe not just yet. Now back in tuck position.
The racing so close to the opening exchanges. Clark gets ahead of Brahms through turn 5, and this is going to be absolutely key. Bouclier still at the back of the pack. Do not count him out. And Paul Vogel in the mix as well. But turn 6 awaits Adam. Here we go. Talk us through it.
Yeah, Brahms has slipped around into the lead now. All of them shutting down on the brakes so hard there. Everybody clean through turn 6. Harry Clark now trying to build himself just a little bit of a gap off the nose of Paul and Bouclier there.
Yeah, it's starting to grow.
Still very much in touch.
Starting to grow, but there's a lot. We're only like halfway down the track. And now Bouclier finding a burst of speed. He's got his friend and teammate Paul Vogel in front of him. But there is that gap between second and third. Vogel looking to go the inside and make the pass on Bouclier. He's up to third. But this next section is where some of those gaps. It's Bouclier that's made the pass, I should say. He is up into third place. Apologies, we're losing some of the pictures up ahead at the moment. One or two issues with the drones. A massive shame here, so really sorry about that, folks. These things happen. We'll keep an eye on the scoreboard. We pick up the second drone with Clark and Brahms still battling. Clark in the lead into this one. It doesn't matter too much. You've just got to get through. That is the key thing.
Yeah, looking like Clark and Brahms able to run away with it there, build themselves a good gap, and Harry Clark just taking that last pass. You love the cheeky pass at the end there. Just says, yep, I think I'll take that first spot. Thank you. I want my choice of lane. Nice work from those two, rounding it out and going to be in the finals.
Bouclier coming through in third place. Vogel into the Conti final. Apologies, folks. Just we did have one or two issues with the drones. I'm sure they will be just double-checking everything ahead of the second of the semi-finals. Little message there from Harry Clark. I got you. Watch out, Nick. But there's another race to go. So Clark and Brahms into the big final. And I did promise I'd get back to Nick Brahms, Legendary Foods, Carbon World Health, Mission Bay Fit Body Boot Camp, and Pro Presenter. Semi-final 2, Paynell wears red, Carlotti in green, Barbizzi in blue, Owen Fox in yellow. Fox riding a custom mids board this weekend in Turkey. Paynell, Seismic, Madrid Walk Footstops, Lion Skate Gear, Becker Grip Soles, Productive Designs, Iron Strong Athletics, Barbizzi Venom, Board Style Skate Shop, BDS Ricame, Carlotti, La Palada, 981 Skateboards. Well, this is going to be close. This is going to be, it's got to be close, hasn't it, Adam?
Yeah, it absolutely does. I mean, you look at the quality of these riders, and again, it looks like we're looking at a final seed. I mean, Adrian Paynell, Carlotti, Stefano Barbizzi, and Owen Fox, all capable of taking the win down here. Of course, Adrian Paynell has been looking so strong all day. You know, I mean, maybe not quite as big of a gap from him to the rest of the field as last year, but still commanding leads through most of his heats here.
Yeah, he really showed it in the quarterfinals. Stepped it up. Here we go with the second semi-final. Paynell in red, Carlotti in green, Barbizzi in blue, nearest to us on screen, and Fox in yellow. Great kick from Barbizzi. Paynell in second place, Carlotti in third, Fox in fourth. There's always a little bit of jostling for position. They're looking for the racing line. Moving over wide to the right-hand side of the road, pinching that apex. Three riders so close. A little wobble from Barbizzi. Leaves some room. Paynell and Carlotti. Carlotti's almost in that ditch. And Barbizzi goes from first to third.
Paynell and Carlotti going side by side there. Carlotti's going to pull away with the advantage. Is now in the lead of this race. Adrian Paynell waiting comfortably just behind him. Stefano Barbizzi not far off the heels. And Owen Fox, we haven't seen where he is yet, but I'm sure he's not too far behind Stefano there. But right now, Adrian Paynell looking for another way around Carlotti, and it looks like he's going to slip around the outside there and then just dive right up inside as the road banks over to the left. Nice work from Adrian Paynell to find his way back in the lead of this race.
But Carlotti has not gone anywhere. He's stuck to the tail of Paynell's board into turn 6. Can everyone get through cleanly? It looks like that is the case. They use every bit of racetrack we've got into turn 7. Barbizzi and Fox are not out of it yet, but they got to think about making a move soon. They've got Carlotti looks behind him, and he's putting Paynell under a bit of pressure here.
Yeah, they built themselves a little bit of a gap now. Carlotti probably still looking for a way around front. We saw him do this in the last round, look for a pass, even though he was in a leading position. He's probably going to want to be doing that again. Aggressive rider, wants to be in that top spot for the final, and you can see him still pressuring Adrian Paynell so hard through these fast sweepers.
This is where I think Fox is breaking just a little later. I've seen him in earlier rounds close some gaps. Doesn't quite close it up there because the two Frenchmen are on a flyer here. Paynell and Carlotti first and second. Clark and Brahms await in the big final. Carlotti closing in as that tries to break as late as possible out of this turn. A look over the shoulder. I think they've got this one. But Paynell has been put under pressure, but he's looking comfortable.
Yeah, Carlotti definitely didn't give him an inch there. He had to fight for this whole thing to be in the lead that he is now. A lot of passing, a lot of defending, but is still able to take it away with the first place Carlotti. You can see very excited there to be in second place and getting into the finals next round.
Well, Carlotti has been right from Friday's first training, lightning quick on this course, and he's been rewarded with a place in the finals. And he's kind of lucky after that first round that he was just able to hold on. Let's take a look back at some of the best of the action from the second semi-final.
And you can see Paynell here. This is where he is just such a technician. He's going to find a way to pass so comfortably. He gets right up in the draft, and then as the road banks to the right, goes around the left, and then, oh, I've got some room here. Thank you very much. I'll take that spot, and then defends the rest of the way down while Carlotti gives him so much pressure. Owen Fox now showing that pass around Stefano Barbizzi. Nice work from Owen there, getting around, but not quite enough speed with the slingshot to get into an advancing position.
Our finals are in the books. We turn our attention to the finals. Consi final for open skate. Bouclier, Fox, Barbizzi, and Vogel. The final, Paynell, Clark, Broms, and Carlotti. We've also got the luge, Consi, and final to come as well. Nick McCurdy, Josh Fieldwick, George Cheeseman in the Consi final. Abdul Madzan, Andy Lally, Ulrich Becker, and Phil Spencer in the final. There's the inline final and the women's final still to come as well. The inliners being very patient. Just 3 inliners here. And having to wait through, but they have had a training run in between some of the rounds. Doesn't take too long to get back up to the top of the hill here at Erzincan with that gondola. It does mean things flow pretty nicely. Well, we're just waiting to find out the next race we're going to see. I believe it's going to be the luge Consi final. We'll wait and see till we see them on the start line. There's nobody there. Vincenzo's all on his own. He's not got any friends up there. But he's looking. He's going to go get some.
Yeah, you know, taking a look at these Consi finals, you think, okay, they're not in the finals, does it really matter? But these guys are looking for points over the whole season. I mean, there's a championship to think about here. So it makes a huge difference. The point difference between a 5th and an 8th, if you're looking long term, it's going to make a big difference. So these are going to be really good battles too, I think. And I'm excited to see what goes down in these consolation rounds.
And a 4-race series as well. It means, that if you lose some ground, it's hard to make it up. There's George Cheeseman. So we are going to have the luge Consi final. Right in Mark Wilson's board still, I assume. Josh Fieldwick and Nick McCurdy will be in this one as well. Just the 3 riders in the luge Consi final. George is all on his own. Vincenzo's come back with a helmet. He's just giving Nick a hand. I did promise Nick I was going to Google Bateman's Bay, and I haven't done that yet.
Well, it's good to see Nick on his feet here. Not feeling too bad after that crash. We haven't seen Josh Fieldwick yet, but based on the way he was on his feet after the crash, I'm sure he's feeling good too. But good to see that neither of those guys are too banged up.
Yeah, I did see, I think Josh did actually complete the run as well, so I think he got back on the board. Let's hope they're all okay. Just getting word, Josh Fieldwick has withdrawn from the race, so no Josh. So we do hope, of course, that he is all okay after that crash. It was a nasty one, wasn't it? And I could confirm that Bateman's Bay, where Nick McCurdy lives, just looks absolutely amazing. So next time I'm in Australia, who knows when that will be, I'm going to go check out Bateman's Bay. Well, let's go, whilst we're waiting for this luge Consi final, let's hear from Owen Fox a little bit earlier on today.
It's amazing. I'm super happy to be back. Always love coming back here. This is our 4th year in a row now. Super excited. Last year was a great year for me here, and I had a lot of fun. Finally put it on the podium, so trying to keep that energy rolling forward and see what we can do this year. Yeah, we got some really exciting new stuff at the WDSC this year. Having Khalil Hamouri on standby as the safety director and Zach Madem as our race director. Very excited to kind of bring that in and make decision making a little bit easier and a little more direct. And having people in the right positions that know what they're talking about just makes things safer for everybody, more exciting, and it takes some pressure off of us as the riders to have to make those decisions. And I think we're going to have a lot of success with that this year. Really excited for these GPS things too. I don't know much about those, honestly. I'm not going to talk about them.
Great to hear from Owen Fox there, and yeah, having Khalil and Zach on board as well is, you know, just elevating things again, isn't it, Adam?
Yeah, it's always good to get some, you know, permanent kind of representatives there who aren't racing to be able to, you know, but are riders, you know, who can give that perspective without having to be focused on, you know, their qualifying run coming up next. So I think that's been a really great adaptation.
Well, I understand they're not using the gondola to get back to the top. I think they're in some vehicles just to speed things up. The gondola doesn't actually start right at the bottom of the race course. You've got that long shutdown zone and got to work your way around. So I believe at this stage of the race, we're just bringing everyone back up by road. Again, it doesn't take too long. And then get back underway in just a few moments' time with Nick McCurdy and George Cheeseman. Josh Fieldick, who was in this one, we understand is not racing.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking about that. It may be that he got a little banged up, and then you know, that the adrenaline can stave off some of that pain for a little while, for about the amount of time it takes to finish your run. So,
yes.
It may be that he, you know, once he crossed the finish line, he was like, oh, you know, I'm a little worse for wear than I thought. So hoping he's not too banged up.
Yeah, we'll go find him afterwards and check on his condition. It was a nasty one. If you want to see it again, I think it's already up on Instagram. Quite a high-speed section. There's very little slow-speed section on this course.
I'm still not sure how he rode down into and back out of the gutter. I'm interested to talk to him about that and understand how that ride was. Yeah, skills and on a street luge, which you know, of course, has no suspension, so it's not a smooth ride down in and out of a gutter.
So here we go, Consi final. Nick McCurdy and George Cheeseman getting underway. They're going to fight this one out. Doesn't matter. There's just two of them. We've seen some great racing over the years with just two riders, and Cheeseman pushing out of the start well. McCurdy coming round the outside. He's going to try and get in front of Cheeseman. Cheeseman holds the line nicely, shuts the door on McCurdy. Now Cheeseman in the lead of this race. These two pretty evenly matched. So it could be a very close race. I hope it is, Adam.
Yeah, I think so. And, you know, Nick McCurdy about to come into the same section that took him out in the last round. He's hoping to lock in and not do that. Still winds out quite close to the bales, but makes it through clean this time. Good to see him.
He's getting friendly with those bales on that side, isn't he?
Yeah, which, you know, I mean, that's the way you got to be on this course. You do have to wind out close like that, but, you know, it's not hard to just overcook it a little bit. But him with some time to make up now, George Cheeseman building a little bit of a lead here. Nick McCurdy still very much in touch, though, in a slipstream. And, of course, we're getting into the faster portions of this race where small changes can make up quite a bit of yardage. So he's definitely not out of the mix yet.
Well, George Cheeseman's had his troubles on this course this weekend. He's had a couple of crashes, and I want to see him put a clean that run down. McCurdy, oh, whoa, whoa, get up. He stays upright somehow. Living on the edge.
Luge, Nick. Unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, I think what happened there is he almost went too wide and just dug in so hard it caused a little bit of a wobble, but was able to avoid the bales there. So nice work and nice recovery, but definitely riding the line here.
Well, he's pushing it to the max. Cheeseman still up ahead on the racetrack, but You never know what can happen. This course in Erzincan, as we've seen over the years, has got some serious bite to it.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And Nick McCurdy definitely feeling the sting of that so far in this race. But looked like George Cheeseman almost does it again. George Cheeseman, with a nice lead now, is going to comfortably cruise in for that 5th place spot as long as he goes through clean on the final turn here. Nice safe run through that turn for George Cheeseman, who's going to walk away with a comfortable 5th place. Not a bad way to start your season there. 5th place, still some solid points.
Yeah, definitely for George Cheeseman after previous years when he's had 1 or 2 issues. Not without issue this weekend as well, but gets that 5th place on the board, winning the Consi final. Spent a lot of time in the hotel room last year after injuries, but nice run from George, and McCurdy entertaining in the Consi final. Looking forward to chatting with them after the race about that one. But let's take a look back at him.
Yeah, so here's that turn 6 where Nick McCurdy just maybe even makes a little bit of contact with the barrier there, gets a quick wobble, but gets it under control and back in his tuck just in time.
We're ready for some inline. Carlos Quiroga, the top qualifier in red. Tiziano Ferrari in green. Filippo Radelli in blue. They've had to wait for their opportunity. Inline made its debut here in Erzincan last year. And we saw them again in El Salvador, and they came out in numbers. It was absolutely fantastic to see.
Yeah, it is. It's good to see them showing up in some more numbers and starting to fill out some of these races. It's you know, these riders are so talented, and we don't always get a good shot of them because they don't always share events with Street Luge downhill, which is what we're usually commentating on. So it's great to see them in the mix here. 3 really talented riders here. Of course, Carlos Quiroga, the Colombian, ever-present threat, such a strong rider. I got to speak with him for a while in El Salvador, and he's just such a passionate skater. It was good to chat with him and get his perspective for a little bit.
Ooh, false start red. Maybe the left foot just over the line. Hard to see from our angle. There's a shadow. So the inline final underway. Quiroga in red, Ferrari in green, Radelli in blue. 3 quality inline skaters coming into this second of the hairpins. Turn number 1, as it's being called. And you talked about it yesterday, Adam. The ability to sprint and skate out of the turn is something to behold.
Yeah, and we saw it just there, Quiroga, just with that flash of power and getting around the inside of Radelli there. I mean, that's the kind of power that it's going to take to win a race like this, and exceptional work for him to make that pass and take the lead of this race. Now building himself even more of an advantage. You can see him powering out of the corner with Ferrari there, getting in a tuck behind him.
Ferrari in a totally different position to Quiroga in terms of their tuck. Then they open up, stand up a little tall, kind of thinking about your alpine skiing technique here, but generally inline you might be a little bit more on the inside foot than you would be on some skis. It's Quiroga into turn 6. This is where there's so much force, particularly on that left knee. Into turn 6, Radelli at the back of the pack in 3rd place. Quiroga gets through cleanly. He's building a big advantage over Ferrari in this one, but everyone still on their feet. It's not over until you cross the line.
Yeah, Quiroga absolutely attacking this course. Ferrari's got some time to make up if he wants to get in the mix here. He's going to have to step on the accelerator pedal a little bit and find a way to shave some time if he wants to get up into a top spot in this race. Everybody looking clean and strong so far.
Clean, strong, fantastic racing. And Quiroga is just powering away. He's just a little speck at the top of your screen now, working through the next turn. We'll go up high, try and get both of them on in the shot, but Quiroga with an absolute masterclass in the inline final. One more difficult turn to negotiate for the Colombian. There the brakes go on. Feel everything through that left knee. Got to be super, super strong, and then just carving out of the turn. Then skating, adding that burst of power. And you said, Adam, you called it. He's got such lightning quick power out of these turns, and it's what's seeing him build those advantages step by step on the opening turns. And Carlos Quiroga comes through and takes the inline win here in Erzincan, Turkey. Dominant
Flashy
performance
way.
from the Colombian.
Absolutely flashy way to start the season for Quiroga. Big win like that. That's how he wants to start the season. Of course, whole circuit to go, but definitely that's exactly where he wants to be at the start of race number 1.
Women's final will be up next. Of course, we are missing Selina Thyler from this one. A massive shame after the amazing work that she'd done in the open qualification.
I know. I tell you, I was so excited to see that battle, and hopefully we'll get Sabrina Ambrosi up here on the line too. It's still going to be a good battle between Lisa and Sabrina, both two exceptional skaters, two of the strongest women in the world, of course, and we've seen them racing for years now. Very experienced, talented riders, but of course would have been awesome to see Selina Tyler in that mix as well. It's a shame. We hope she's doing all right and not feeling too bad after her crash earlier this weekend.
Yeah, massive, massive shame. I echo those words. I think Sabrina had a crash earlier. We didn't see it on screen. I'm not able to see it from our commentary position either. Once the race starts, we kind of get locked away. So we just rely on others feeding us information. Well, Lisa Peters there. She it was unfortunate, wasn't it, last year in coming into Utah. She had that injury. She wasn't able to race in Utah. But there is Sabrina. So Lisa with the red, Sabrina Ambrosi with the green. For Lisa Peters, Girl Power Radio, Pantheon Longboards Pro. She's got her own pro model. Valkyrie trucks, seismic wheels, BTR leathers, urethane burners.
You know, both of these riders.
Ambrosi, seismic, Volpium, Bode, and urethane burners for Sabrina Ambrosi. Sorry, Adam. Go on.
Well, I was just going to say, you know, both of these riders have put in so much time in the off season. You know, if you keep up with them, you know they've both been in the gym training so hard and, you know, out on their local tracks training hard. So good to see them lining up here in Turkey. And I think this will be a good battle. I'm excited to watch.
Can hear the drones in the air as we get ready for the women's skateboard final. Lisa Peters and Sabrina Ambrosi going to battle it out for top spot here in Erzincan, the opening round of the season. Two riders both with a strong, strong kick. Lisa Peters getting the whole shot. Oh, Sabrina's gone down on the opening turn.
Sabrina
gets back up quickly. I'm not naming the turn. If she wants it, we'll name the turn after her. But
yeah, bad luck there. It looks like she just got over the front a little bit too much, and it didn't quite work out for her there. Of course, a whole track to still build some time on. She may be able to still get something going here. But with Lisa's pace, it's going to be difficult. We know Lisa's a fast rider. She's comfortable on this track. And so Sabrina's got quite a bit of work to do to try to make up for that crash. It's going to be very difficult.
Difficult indeed. Yet there you can see the gap off the GPS systems that we're using and continuing to test and learn and look at what sort of data we can bring on screen for you. So hopefully, yeah, it's been good. It's been nice. Another little step forward. We go step by step here. WDSC, learning all the time. Lisa Peters coming into turn number 6. And you can see Sabrina Ambrosi. Yeah, she's quite far behind, but she's got to focus on her own race. Never know what is going to happen.
And Sabrina down in the bails
again.
This race is not going her way. You hate to see that. She's such a talented rider. And, you know, when it rains, it pours. So a real shame to see her down twice in the same run. That's a brutal way to end your day here.
Yeah, not the run, of course, that she would have wanted, but so much valuable time. It's every run that you have on a course like this, you are learning, you are improving, and you take that to the next race, take that to what will be a totally different setup in the Isle of Man for round number 2. Might need some wet wheels for that one. Be prepared.
Yeah, the weather's so unpredictable on the Isle of Man. Of course, we had it, you know, spit and rain on and off last year. It took me out, of course, and, you know, they're going to be contending with that again this year, I'm sure.
Well, it's been a pretty flawless run from Lisa Peters. She's through the last of the turns, the key turns on this course, and could come through the line in just a few moments' time to celebrate victory in the women's stand-up. She was saying this morning wasn't feeling 100%, but she walks away with the victory in the opening round of the World Downhill Skateboarding Championship.
I'm sure she's, you know, happy with the victory, but probably feeling a little sting too. I know she wanted to battle Sabrina down this course and Selena Tyler as well. So, you know, to walk away with it like that, she probably wanted a little more of a fight, but happy with the victory nonetheless. That's a good way to start the season. I'm sure she's feeling really strong.
Looking very strong as well. We'll see. Not sure if we're going to have time for a replay or not from that one because the luge look ready.
Now, see if we can get a glimpse of what happened to Sabrina Ambrosi here. You can see her diving in. Everything looks good. And then all of a sudden, it just gets away from her. Not sure what happened there. You know, could be some setup changes. It could be anything, you know. I mean, like we said, the conditions are always changing on this track. And setups have to change to try to manage, you know, what's going on and what you're feeling on the board. So it's hard to say what went wrong there, but definitely stars were not aligned for her on this one today.
The Ambrosi hairpin's got a nice ring to her, but we're not making that official unless she agrees. We did say at the start of the show.
We did say it, but man, that's a tough legacy. That's not one you want.
Maybe not. Right. Luge final, Abdel Madzan. He is in red on the left-hand side of your screen. Andy Lally, the black and red leathers in the green leg sleeves. Ulrich Becker in blue and Phil Spencer in yellow. Spencer was 4th here last year. Andy Lally racing for the very first time in Erzincan. Becker and Madzan have the experience. But this could be some race.
You wouldn't know it if you saw just Andy Lally skating. You wouldn't know it's his first time here in Erzincan racing, but believe it or not, it is.
The visors come down. We're under the command of our starter Vincenzo. So here we go with the luge final. Madzan trying to push to get that hole shot ahead of Andy Lally. Phil Spencer gets ahead of Becker and wants to stay in touch with Lally and Madzan. There's a space here on the left-hand side. If Lally can take it, he's done that. Gets ahead of Madzan. Becker will settle into the run. He's not always the fastest starter, but expect Becker to build the speed. But now Madzan finds himself in second place behind Andy Lally. There's battles going on all over the road here, Adam.
Yeah, Becker's looking like he's biding his time. You saw a couple of air brakes there, waiting for his opportunity, and boom, strikes up the inside of Phil Spencer right here. Abdil still pressuring up front against Andy Lally. We'll get a shot of that in a second, but right now, Ulrich Becker, nice work to get around Phil Spencer to get himself in a podium position. He's got work to do to try to get into a top 1 or 2 spot, but there is a lot of track left. We'll see what he can do to challenge for one of those positions.
Coming into turn 6, Andy Lally, and Abdel Madzan sits up. There's that little lift of the board from Abdel Madzan. He's right on the tail of Andy Lally. He's so good at using every bit of the road here. But Madzan's got to think about making a pass. Oh, Spencer is down. I think Becker is still upright. But Andy Lally has the Malaysian Abdel Madzan behind him. And Adam, this is where Madzan's maybe going to think about the pass.
The draft so big right here. This portion of the track is so fast that the draft is huge. Abdil just getting sucked in there, doesn't quite capitalize on it, and he's going to have to do it a little later down through turn 9 here. Abdil now needing to late break if he wants to make something happen here. Lali's put himself in a very good position to take the win at his debut Erzincan Turkey race here. Andy Lally still running away with this lead. He's going to have to just keep holding on, make it clean through turn 10, and the win is his. He's got his work cut out for him here.
Well, this is where Madzan has to take as much risk as possible. He's got to get down low on that board and try and find a bit of draft over the bottom section. But Andy Lally has the advantage. Madzan is trying, inching closer to Lally. But it's going to be Andy Lally through the last of the turns. Lally takes the win in Street Luge in the opening round of the WDSC. His first visit to Erzincan, and he walks away with a victory.
Of course, we got one more podium spot unaccounted for. We haven't seen yet how Ulrich came out of turn 6, if he went down with Phil Spencer or if he stayed on his street luge. We're still awaiting the final result there. It looks like we see Phil Spencer coming through, but not sure if we missed Ulrich there in the meantime.
So maybe, I don't know if Ulrich was involved in, we saw Phil Spencer on the deck in turn 6, but we didn't get a shot of Ulrich Becker. So let's hope Ulrich is okay, because we haven't seen him yet. So fingers crossed, Ulrich is okay.
No time for him yet, so not looking good. Maybe he did go down in turn 6 with Phil Spencer. Hopefully we'll get another angle of that or another shot. And it looks like he did just cross the finish line. So, okay, he's upright.
There he is, yeah. So that is good to see. So Phil Spencer on the podium upgrades that 4th place from last season to 3rd.
And Andy Lally with the debut and win. I'm sure he would have liked to put down a little track record to boot, but you know, he'll be happy with taking the dub to start off his season. That's an excellent way to start it out here. Of course, a whole season left, but really strong performance to get things going.
Andy Lally's 3rd WDSC victory. Consi final in the open skate. Owen Fox in green, Bouclier in red. Barbizzi wears the blue, and Paul Vogel wears yellow. Might just be a bit of work being done in turn 6 after that crash, which is why we can see the riders waiting. So 2 races to go. Adam, it has been a race of exceptional quality, and we're not done yet.
It really has, and you know, like we talked about in all the previous races, we've seen so many crashes and so many semifinals and finals. And here we are in the open stand-up category with no crashes in either semifinal, and I think that's something to be proud of and impressed by. I mean, for these guys to be able to be so aggressive with each other and everyone stay upright, it shows the development of the sport. And on this track, let's see them line up here.
Consi final gets underway. Fox with a good push. So has Barbizzi. Vogel in 3rd place. Bouclier just lurking, just getting himself into 3rd place. But it's Barbizzi with the advantage. He was in the Consi final last year, finished 5th. And that's the best he can do today. Fox in 2nd, Bouclier in 3rd, Vogel in 4th.
These guys are at the distance where when you're tucked that close to someone, you can't see anything. I mean, all you're seeing is their hands tucked behind their back. You can't see any of the road. You don't know where you're going. You're just trusting their line. That's you know, the level that these guys are playing at right now. So close together. Owen and Stefano building a little bit now.
Yeah, that gap has just started to come out, and Paul Vogel looking to make the move on Bouclier. He's right on the tail of his countryman's board. And Bouclier, he could finish strongly on this hill, but Barbizzi and Fox fighting. Adam, talk us through turn 6.
Yeah, both dropping down with the pre-carve and then huge drifts into turn 6. Everybody looking like they're going to stay upright and maintain position. Stefano stepping away with a little bit of the lead now. Bouclier now pressuring up the inside of Owen Fox. Going to see if he can't get himself at least into a second place, maybe even able to follow that draft into a leading position. But Owen still holding him off. Bouclier, as soon as he slips out of the slipstream, runs out of a little bit of juice that he was going to try to use to pass. So Owen still able to hold him off. Bouclier looking for any way around and a little bit of pace to match. Arms out there for a little balance. Lets Owen pull out a little bit more of a lead and pull around the inside of Stefano Barbizzi. Now Owen Fox, all of a sudden in the lead of this heat with some nice work to get around Stefano and into that position where he wants to be. A good 5th place finish would really boost Owen's confidence for the rest of this season going forward. You know, there's a big difference in a 5th and an 8th. So,
and that is a part of the course where Fox has been consistently fast all day long, and we've seen it again right up close with the bales. Phenomenal move from Owen Fox, and now he can get his head down. He can see the finish line now. It is going to be a win in the Consi final, a 5th place here in Erzincan for Owen Fox to kick off the new season. Barbizzi comes through to take 6th place, and there's Paul Vogel crossing the line as well.
Must have been some problems for Bouclier back further up the track. Didn't quite get a look at that. But let's take another look at this pass here.
It was Barbizzi that didn't finish. That must have had some problems. Bouclier crossed in 2nd, Vogel in 3rd, Barbizzi in 4th.
So here's Owen coming up the inside through this huge drift. This section is so fast, and he just sneaks around the inside just before dropping that drift in front of Barbizzi. And yeah, thank you for that correction there. I did get the names mixed up a little bit.
It was just I got it wrong as well. It was just updating as you were talking there, Adam. So we didn't see it on screen. Last race of a magical weekend here in Erzincan. The pinnacle of downhill skateboarding. Paynel in red. Harry Clark in green. Nick Broms in blue. Carlotti in yellow. Paynel, the only man that's won on this hill. 2nd in qualifying, but that was qualification. But due to how they finished, Paynel now has the red leg sleeves from earlier on, with that, as Nick Broms was 2nd in his semi-final.
You know, Nick Broms is the 3rd seed in this heat, but I feel like he's, you know, perhaps in one of the strongest start positions. We've seen a lot of folks starting on the far right who've been able to get out front, so he may end up being pleased with that position after all.
It's worked well for Owen Fox today, but ultimately you've got to get a good kick. Here we go, open skate final. And we're underway at the first time of asking Broms and Clark with those exceptional kicks. It does work out pretty well for Broms out of the start. He has got the advantage. He's got 3 quality riders behind him, and Broms now getting out of the new section of road. And he has a top spot for the time being. But look who is behind him. It is Carlotti. Clark in 3rd place. And Adam, Paynel has got to work his way through the field here.
Paynel he's found something with that turn where he's able to pick up speed, and you see him do it on Harry just there. He's able to get into that 3rd place position. We've seen him make passes in that turn before, and he does it there textbook. Now with just a little bit of work left to do. Of course, Nick Broms with that strong lead. Carlotti looking for a way around into the lead position. Is he going to just sneak by? And Carlotti does it, makes the pass, now leading this race, leaving Nick Broms to fend off that 2nd place with Adrian Paynel hot on his heels. Adrian just inching his way up and going to try to make a way up the inside. Little wobble from Carlotti, and he's going to get his doors just banged up a little bit by Paynel and Nick Broms there.
Coming into turn 6 is Paynell in the lead, Broms in second. Carlotti and Clark battling for third place. Can Broms comes through. He's just gets back into top spot in the final. This one could be going all the way. 1 and 2, Adam, just getting a lead over third place.
Yeah, these two are fighting it out down the straightaway. Can't quite see yet who's going to come away with the advantage. But these two have so much pressure on each other right now, just absolutely trading blows.
What a battle we have got for the win in the open stand-up in the first round of the tour. Nick Broms and Adrian Paynell fighting it out for top spot and the win here in Erzincan. Carlotti's not out of the mix yet either.
Paynell holding that leading spot, but Nick Broms looking for a way around the outside before our final braking section into turn 10 here, and it looks like Broms just going to edge him out a little bit. Phenomenal work there to take the lead. If he can make it stick, Carlotti's still hot on his heels with the ability to make it past too, and is he going to get around? Carlotti just barely squeaking it out into a second place position there.
Harry Clark is in the slipstream. Can he find a podium from fourth place? But it looks like it is Nick Broms that is going to come through. Paynell diving for the line. It goes right down to the line. Was that Carlotti on the line that got it 3 abreast? I think that might
found
have
a way
been
to sneak through there.
That was insane. What
I don't know how he did it.
That was. Wow, never mind a short replay. Let's replay the whole race. He came through the middle.
Goodness.
He came through the middle.
Carlotti just squeaks right through the middle. Unbelievable pass by Carlotti there to take the win. I don't know how he made space for himself to get through that.
Wow. What a way to end the show. Adam, thank you so much. It has been an absolute pleasure to be in the commentary box with you again. Erzincan, Erganda, thank you so much. Big thanks to everyone that's tuned in to watch. Huge thanks to all of the crew behind the scenes, everyone out on the hill that's made this race happen. We have been treated. We will see you in the Isle of Man in about a month's time. From all of us here in Erzincan, bye for now.
A bit of contact, I think Clark is down. Oh, and Bouclier.
Oscar gets through.
Oh, he's got it. He's got it. A super tight one to Banner. Bit of a wobble before the haymaker.
There was definitely some contact there.
Yeah. He's into the big final. 1 step closer to the world title.